The starters for your Hayes Larks. Leading off and playing center field from Creighton University, number 1, Jack Tarosia. Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, batting second, the second baseman from Ohio State University, number 6, Hunter Rawson. Batting third and catching from Seminole State College, number 5, Jackson Halter. Batting fourth for the Larks, playing left field from Murray State Community College, number 20, Garrett Gruel. Batting fifth, playing right field from the University of Tennessee, number 33, Dylan Dreiling. Batting sixth, playing first base from the University of Oklahoma, number 28, Cade Brown. Batting seventh, playing shortstop from the University of Tennessee, number 3, Austin Jaslov. Batting eighth, the designated hitter from the University of Oklahoma, number 23, Braden Lucart. And batting ninth for the Larks, playing third base from Arizona Western College, number 4, Ben Fiermanzi. Tonight for the Larks from the University of Texas at Arlington, 1-0 on the season, number 32, Hunter Marshall. Ladies and gentlemen, in his 40th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Pitching coach is Keith Hyber. Assistant coach is Andy Luton.
Where I'll be rooting for the Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Larks. Larks! For the Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Larks. Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Larks. Larks!
Welcome back to Larks Park and Larks Baseball right here on Larks Network. This is game 2 of 3 between your Larks and the Colorado Springs Outlaws. The first pitch from Hunter Marshall in the zone for a called strike. It is a hot one here in Hayes, and it's only going to get hotter over the next week, so the Larks are in for some hot games over the next week. We'll have 6 in a row starting next Thursday, as in the Thursday that's in 5 days, as we'll pick up against the Fort Collins Foxes and play them and the Colorado Tribe and then Dodge City. 1-1 count here, Marshall versus C.J. Townsend. This pitch will miss the zone, 2-1. The Larkstoberfest down at the ballpark. Quite a few fans with beer rocks and noodles and beans. It's always a hit here in Hayes. Larks coming to this game, 21-6 on the season. They are 14-3 in league play. They're in second place, just 1.5 games back from Liberal. As a slider from Marshall runs outside, 3-1 goes the count. Outlaws coming to this game, 11-14. They're 8-13 in league games, standing in 6th place, 9.5 games back. Hitters count, bases open, and this pitch is popped up to the right side of the infield. Brown and Rawson move towards it. Rawson calls off the Oklahoma Sooner and gets out number 1 between first and second base.
The left fielder, number 5, Austin Weller.
Larks victorious yesterday, winning it 21-0. Excuse me, 22-0. Larks scored 13 runs in that second inning and then followed it up with 9 more, including 7 in the 4th. No balls and a strike here to Austin Weller, the left fielder. This is Marshall's 7th appearance on the mound this season. He is 1-0. His lone win against the Outlaws, that was on the 4th of July in Colorado Springs. He's put himself in positions to get wins before. He had a lead going 5 innings against Dodge City in Dodge City, and then when they took him out of the game, Larks lost the lead. Then Preston Tabor came in, kept the guys in the game. The Larks took the lead in the top of the 9th, and Preston Tabor picked up his first win of the season. 3-1 count here to the left fielder, batting second in the order. Weller, a Colorado Springs native, staying home and playing for the Outlaws this summer. The 3-1 will miss inside. Marshall will walk just his 4th of the season. He's only walked now 4 through 19 innings. His whip standing at 1.13.
The right fielder, number 28, Casey Campbell.
5th start as a Lark for Marshall. He struck out 23 through 19, giving up just 18 hits. Only 1 earned run for him this season. Has an ERA because of that at 0.48. In the zone here, called strike. Marshall has the best ERA among pitchers who've pitched more than 14 innings. Sam Hendon just behind him with a .54 ERA. Brady Rose, the lone Lark, to throw 10 plus and have no earned runs. Liner past Marshall. It goes into center field, and the Outlaws get their first hit of the day. They had 5 of them yesterday, also had 5 errors. Casey Campbell at first base, Weller at second for Jaron Wilcox. 1 away in the top half of the first inning. Larks have outscored the Outlaws this year 33-0 in 2 run-ruled games. 7 innings in the spring, 7 innings in Hayes. Decent win moving in from center field, but really won't have too much of an effect on a ball that's well struck. But it's really not enough to help the guys with the heat on the field. If you're on the mound for a long inning, that heat is going to get to you. So Marshall will look to work out of this one. He has an 0-1 count against the cleanup hitter. He chases one. Big whiff right there. Maybe that breeze will help Marshall cool down on the bump, and we'll have an 0-2 count. Wilcox out at Phoenix College. He's the lone Montana native on the Outlaws roster. 2 on, 1 out, the 0-2 delivery home. Marshall tries to make him chase low and outside again. Pitch number 3 won't get a swing. We'll go 1-2 with the counts. Marshall's been one of the best arms this year for the Larks. Him and Brady Rose leading the charge with some really good starts. Larks have also seen some really good relief pitchers. Sam Hendon's had a great year. Kobe Grimsley's has only had 2 earned runs and 10 appearances in relief. And don't forget about what Hunter Parker has done, and Luke Terbeek was what he was doing before he had to go back to the Netherlands. 1-2, Marshall delivers from the stretch. Liner to the netting. We will stay 1-2. Larks in yesterday's victory, 17 hits and a huge run difference between the two teams. Larks scored 22 off those 17 hits, also picked up 7 walks. Swing and a miss. Marshall does it again. Gets strikeout number 24 on the season. 2 away.
The catcher, number 15, James Wright.
Against the Outlaws on the 4th of July, Marshall threw 75 pitches, and 13 of them were swings and misses. He struck out a season-high 8 and kept him scoreless in an 11-0 victory for Hayes. Marshall home, fly ball to the right side, foul. Do it for the Larks in the bottom of this first inning. Terosian, Rossett, and Halter 1 and 2, the same from yesterday's top 2 in the order. Jackson Halter had the day off and will hit the highest spot in the lineup that he's played in all year. One ball, 1 strike. Sitting at second base, Weller. Casey Campbell at first base. Good pitch from Marshall. Wright doesn't turn on it. 1-2. Wright batting fit today and catching after playing third base and left field yesterday. He's down at Dodge City Community College. 1-2 home. Shot backwards, and we will stay 1-2. Marshall's last appearance was against the Outlaws. That 5-inning win for him. He gave up 7 hits, but no runs, no walks. Again, striking out a season-high 8. Only game he's had an earned run in was against Dodge City in a 6-inning start. 4 runs scored while he was on the mound, but only 1 earned for him. The UTA Mavericks sends this one home, and it gets sent to the right side and out of play from the Dodge City Conquistador.
Don't forget to bring the foul balls back to the Larks nest, where we give you $1 courtesy of the Hayes Police Department. Baseballs are not souvenirs tonight.
A hit and a walk this inning for the Outlaws. Looking for their 12th win this season. Ground ball goes past the reaching Marshall. Rolls to Rosson, who taps second base himself. And the Larks will leave Weller on the base paths and get out of the first inning, keeping them scoreless. And their 15th inning against the Outlaws this season. To the bottom half we go. No score here in Hayes.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bottom of inning number 1, Jack Tarosian will lead off his second straight game. And the Creighton Blue Jay will send this one to the second baseman, Link. A nice grab from him to throw on the turf. Wilcox scoops it up. And that will be out number 1.
Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, the second baseman from Ohio State University, number 6, Hunter Rosson.
One away, base is empty for the second baseman, Rosson, batting second in his second consecutive game. Hunter on deck, Gruel in the hole for the Larks. I don't know if it has anything to do with the heat at all, but Frank Leo not coaching third base tonight. He's in the dugout. Andy Luton taking over the third base coaching duties. Cam Walton, the Larks pitcher, coaching first base. Rosson sends this one up the middle and will be the second ground out of the bottom of the first inning.
The Larks catcher from Seminole State College, number 5, Jackson Halter.
Halter to the box. Again, like I said in the top half of the inning, this is the highest he's hit in the order this season, but for good reason. He's had a couple of games where he has viewed the ball as almost a beach ball, just seeing all of it and lines this one to the second baseman. 3 outs to the middle of the infield. Larks go down in order quick after putting up 22 in yesterday's game. We are scoreless as we move to the second here in Hayes. Top of the second here in Hayes, Kansas. Leading off is Bailey Link, the 6-hole second baseman. Outlaws brought 5 to the plate in the first. Got 1 hit, 1 walk, left 1 on, no runs. For them, they have been scoreless in 15 innings against the Larks this season. One ball, one strike here to the second baseman out of Bellevue. Ground ball goes to Jaslov. He moves left, fields it behind second base and throws to first in time. 3 straight retired for Hunter Marshall. Off of now back-to-back ground outs and a strikeout. 1 away, bases empty for Quinn Marr, who pitched yesterday. He's the third baseman tonight out of Garden City Community College. Larks actually, in the last meeting between these teams before this season, and on the 19th of July in 2020, kept the Outlaws off the scoreboard. It was a 10-0 run rule for Hayes. So we have seen 25-plus innings keeping the Outlaws off the scoreboard. So the last time the Outlaws scored a run against the Larks, July 18th of 2020. Fly ball goes into center field. Jack Tarosian, no trouble with this one, moving in and gets the second out of the second.
Now batting the Outlaws designated hitter, number 0, Lane Harris.
Two-way base is empty for Lane Harris, another guy who pitched yesterday. The Outlaws threw quite a few arms, 4 to be exact. Even though they only pitched 6 innings, they combined for 149 pitches. Swing and a whiff, 1-1. Harris tonight's DH out of Hastings. Larks Kept the Outlaws off the scoreboard in innings 8 and 9 on that July 18th game of 2020. So we have seen 27 straight innings keeping the Outlaws off the scoreboard. Marshall looking to make it 28 right here. The 1-2 home. Chop to the third base side. Ferenzi will get it in foul territory off of a couple of bounces. Will stay 1-2. Ferenzi had a really good game at third base yesterday as he moved there, replacing Palmer Hutchison. They're going to give him another shot at the hot corner. 1-2 again. Marshall sets up on the turf mound, delivers home. Doesn't get the calls, it misses just inside. Really close call. Home plate umpire Randy Jordan doesn't give it to Marshall. Base is empty, 2 outs in the second inning in a scoreless contest in Hayes. The delivery from Marshall will miss low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Marshall's first outing since the 4th of July, and he will walk his second batter of the day, just his 5th of the season. That is now his season-high walks. He's never walked more than 1. 1 on, 2 out. Let's check out the defensive alignment for the Larks real quick. In left field, we got Garrett Gruhl. After DHing yesterday, he's out there at the 7th spot. Terosian in center, Dreiling in right. Ferenzi in the hot corner, Jazz at short. Rawson still at second, Brown at first base. Jackson Halter behind the plates. Jaron Gorsh, the center fielder, who will ground this one right back to Hunter Marshall. Fields it at the hip, tosses it to Cade Brown. 4 up, 3 down the second inning. He keeps him off the scoreboard yet again until the bottom half we go. Hayes and the Springs tied up at nothing each. Leading off the second inning for the Larks, Garrett Gruhl, the left fielder, out of Murray State College. 1-0 count here. Gruhl, second team All-America this year at the JUCO level. Region 2's Player of the Year and was first team All-Region. Had 3 straight weeks as one of the Region 2 Players of the Week, playing in 53 games, batting .385, 69 hits, 19 of them homers. Driving in 71, walking 26 times, slugged .804. That's ridiculous. He led the team in slugging and was second in Region 2. Closest slugging percentage on Murray State's .540. So nearly 300 points above him. Tied for first in Region 2 and led his team with 71 RBIs. And sends this one into right center field. A diving effort from Gorsh won't bring it up. Garrett Gruhl will have extra bases. Andy Luton tells him to hold at second. Larks get their first of the day. It's a second double of the series for Garrett Gruhl, his third against the Outlaws this season. Gruhl now has played in 6 games, and he has a hit in all of them. He is now tied for a third on the team for the longest hitting streak at a 6-game hitting streak. He'll bring up another guy with a 6-game hitting streak. It is Dylan Dreiling, The right fielder, Tennessee commit, strutting to the plates, batting 5th in the order yet again. Cade Sakamoto is the guy on the mound for the Outlaws, again for the second inning, pitched a 1-2-3 first. He is 1-3 through 6 appearances. This is his 6 starts. He struck out 20, walked just 9 guys, but he's given up 39 hits. Is an ERA sitting at 9.13. Hard hack from Drowling sends it into the sky. Marr runs in. He's at the line in front of third base and gets the outs. First out here of the second inning. It'll bring up Cade Brown.
The University of Oklahoma. Tonight's first baseman, number 28, Cade Brown.
Brown batting 6th today after pinch hitting in yesterday's ballgame and taking over the first base duties for Tyler LaRue. It was a 1-for-2 effort with him. Has hit a double, driving in 2 runs, and then he scored as well in the game. Swing and a miss here from Sakamoto, 0-1 counts. Sakamoto out of Bellevue University is a Bakersfield, California native, 6'3" southpaw sophomore. Before he was at Bellevue, went to College of the Sequoias. Out in Cali. He was the starter against the Larks on the 4th of July on the mound and didn't have an extremely great outing. Larks saw the ball well out of his hands. He threw 4 innings, giving up 10 hits, 8 runs scored, 6 earned, walking 3, striking out just 2. 0-2 home to Brown, inside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gruhl standing at second base with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Larks only have 1 more road game this season. Will be in Augusta on Tuesday, and then back at Larks Park, and we will play the rest of the month of July here in Hayes.
Everybody.
Jaslov on deck, Lukart in the hole for Hayes. Two home. Cade Brown barrels it up, drives it to deep center field. Gorsh moves back. Gruhl tags up, and he will head to third base. Throws cut off by Townsend, but he elects not to throw to third base. Garrett Gruhl tags up and puts himself 90 feet from scoring. All Jaslov has to do is get a hit here and bring him home.
From the University of Tennessee, the shortstop, number 3, Austin Jaslov.
Second Tennessee volunteer to step to the plate this inning is Austin Jaslov, the 7-hole. Playing another game at shortstop, really hasn't wavered much from the shortstop spots. Gruhl at third base, 2 outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Lukart on deck for Renzi in the hole. The first pitch of Jaslov. Off speed, high and outside, 1-0. Before he pitched against the Larks, Sakamoto's last outing was against the Cougars on the 29th. It was a 5 1/3 inning start where he picked up his first and only win of the season, giving up 8 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, punching out 5 guys. 1-1 count here to number 3. So over to Jaslov, over the line in the left-hander's batter's box. 2-1. Larks will bring back Hunter Marshall for the third inning. He's pitched now 7 scoreless innings against the Outlaws as Jaslov drives this one to left field and will bring home Garrett Gruhl. Austin Jaslov now with 4 RBIs against the Outlaws this season. That's his 4th hit. And he is now on a 7-game hitting streak.
Tonight's designated hitter from the University of Oklahoma, number 23, Braden Lucar.
1-0 Larks for Braden Lucard, his family making the trip from St. Joseph, Missouri, and here at the ballpark tonight. Oklahoma Sooners count 1-0. Frenzy on deck, Terosian in the hole for Hayes, Jaslove at first base. Single number 34 this year for Jaslove. He leads the team with now 42 hits. Closest to him is LaRue with 37. Jaslove, 26th RBI. Garrett Gruhl on that play scored run number 9 in his 6th game as a Lark. 1-1 count to tonight's designated hitter out of the University of Oklahoma. Timing off on this swing. Part of his gloves came off on the swing. Or something came off. He goes down and the first base line and gets, you could see it on the swing that something was flying off. His timing was off, and now he's down 1-2 because of it. 1-2 home, bounces off the turf quite a bit in front of home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sakamoto threw strikes on 55% of his pitches against the Larks on the 4th of July in Colorado Springs. There he checks over a Jaslove, not in time. Two count to Lucart. Frenzy on deck. Terosian in the hole for Hayes. The delivery is in. Lucart grounds it to the second baseman Link. Doesn't tag Jaslove. Throws the first in time for the 3rd out of the 2nd. Larks get a double from Gruhl and a run off a Jaslove single. To this 3rd inning we go. Hayes leads 1-0.
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Top of the 3rd here from Larks Park. Marshall's 3rd inning of work. His first delivery missed the zone. 1-0. Top of the order, TJ Townsend to lead things off. He's a shortstop to start off the game, popping up to Hunter Rawson. Ground ball, chops to Ferenzi. He runs in, makes the throw to first, but not in time. It'll be an infield single for the shortstop.
The left fielder, number 5, Austin Weller.
Tough play for Ferenzi. I'm not even sure Nolan Arenado's making that play from 3rd. So it takes us to Austin Weller, who walked in the 1st inning, was the first base runner of the day, got to 2nd base. But then Marshall struck out Wilcox and got a ground out of right to end the inning. Taking off here is Townsend, then the hit and run. We'll see the ground ball go to Ferenzi. His throw to first, this time in time. Townsend in scoring position, though. One away, runner at second.
The right fielder, number 28, Casey Campbell.
Casey Campbell, the right fielder, to the box. He's a Vista, California native, goes to Colorado University, Colorado Springs. They share a field with the Outlaws. So he played there this spring and is playing there this summer. 1-0 count to the 3-hole. Outlaws fairly new to Summer League baseball as a fly ball goes out of play and into the fan pavilion. Larks celebrated their 75th anniversary season last year. The Outlaws started their franchise in 2018 as the Arena Gladiators, and then in 19 went as the Brigade. Then became the Outlaws in 2020. So 2021 off due to COVID, and are back in action in 2022. So just their 4th year of summer ball. As for the Larks, their 77th season. Last year's 75th anniversary season, but their 76th season of play. That doesn't even include what they were, this team's history, because that's just since they've been named the Larks. Go to the Larks website, check out all the history there, thanks to a team effort. Brandon Purdy built the website, and then a lot of people contributed to getting info on there. So if you want to read all about the Larks history, head there. You can also see the team's roster and schedule. I'll tell you all about Larks baseball. 3 balls, 2 strikes here to Campbell, 1 out, runner at second base. Chopper over the head of Marshall. It goes to Rawson. Just throw to Brown inside. Rawson been a part of now 3 outs today. 2 ground outs, 2 and a pop up. Townsend moves into scoring position, or from second base, stays in scoring position, and goes to third base. 2 away for Jaron Wilcox. Struck out swinging, was the first and only strikeout on the day for Hunter Marshall. His 24th of the season. 3rd inning of action. Marshall delivers home. Line drive goes over the head of Ferenzi, and the Colorado Springs Outlaws will get their first run against the Larks since July 18th of 2020.
Now batting the catcher, number 15, James Wright.
It's a tie game, 1-1. Larks scoring 1 in the second. The Outlaws scoring 1 in the third. Just Marshall's 2nd earned run of the season. Chopper to Ferenzi. He's seen a lot of things go his direction here, but this one goes to the left side of the third base line. Due for the Larks in the bottom half of this inning, 9, 1, and 2 hitters for Ferenzi, Tarosian, and Rawson. Wilcox at first base. 0-1 count, 2 away here in the top of the third. Larks have ruled 3 straight games and have 4 straight games of 10 runs or more on the offensive efforts. 9 run rules this season for the Larks. Looking for their 4th straight, but they gotta do some work to get there. Seemed pretty easy yesterday, and it was about this time when the Larks got hot in the effort yesterday, scoring 14 runs between innings 2 and 3, but 13 of them were in inning number 2. 1-1 count here to James Wright, who grounded out to Hunter Rawson to end the top of the first inning. Grounds this one up the middle again. It goes between Rawson and Jaslov, and it will be the 2nd straight single for the Outlaws, their 3rd hit of the inning.
The second baseman, number 19, Bailey Link.
Bailey Link to the box as the courtesy runner. Hayden Smith out of Central College will A run for his catcher. Link on the day 0 for 1. He grounded out to Austin Jaslove to start the second inning. Right at first, or not right. Right's courtesy runner. Smith at first. Wilcox at second. Marshall takes his time, getting ready to deliver to Link. Pitches home below the zone, 1-0 counts. 4 hits today for the Outlaws. They've scored 1 run, walked 2 times, and left 2 on. The 1-0 pitch from Larks Park, inside 2-0. Marshall's first game pitching at Larks Park since June 5th, where he pitched 1 inning against the Collegians. No hits, no runs. No walks, striking out 1. Since then, he has seen 4 straight road appearances. His first 2 outings, non-league games. Since then, it's been 5 straight league games for Marshall. Larks second place in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. The Outlaws in 6th place. Larks have won 4 straight league games and have won 6 of their last 7 RMBL games. 2-2. As for the Outlaws, different story. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 league games, and have lost 4 out of their last 6 games in general. Larks on a 5-game winning streak and have won 8 of their last 9 contests. 2-2 home with 2 on and 2 out in the third. Lined over the grandstand.
For foul balls. We can bring it back to JoJo at the Larks Nest, courtesy of the Hayes Police Department.
Each team with a run here between innings 2 and 3. Marshall 1 strike away from sending us to the bottom half. Ground ball bounces off the front of the Larks dugouts. Rolls to Austin Pewitt sitting on the outside between his pitching coach and another pitcher. Both bullpens quiet. The next pitcher will probably be Sam Hennon for the Larks, but the Larks are going to let Marshall continue to work here, and he's frustrated now because Link just keeps this at bat going. Two balls, 2 strikes. Smith at first, Wilcox at second. Delivery home from Marshall, line to Cade Brown. Good reactions for him, saves a run, and gets the Larks out of the third inning. Outlaws get a run back and tie it up as we move to the bottom half at Larks Park. Bottom of the third, Ben Ferenzi to lead things off for the Larks. Jack Tarosian on deck for Hayes. 1-1 count to the Aussie third baseman. Sends the backstop 1-2. Been against the Outlaws this year, 1 for 6. And will now be 1 for 7, grounding out to Link. Coming up to the plate now is the newest member of the Creighton Blue Jays, Jack Tarosian. See the graphic on your screen, committed the day of the Dodge City A's game in Dodge. Omaha native went down south to Hutchinson, played a couple of years for the Blue Dragons, and is going back home to Omaha to play for the Blue Jays. Showing bunt on the first pitch. He pulls it back and takes a called strike. 0-1. Larks 2 hits, a runner left on. The last inning was a double from Gruel and a single from Jaslove. That helped the Larks score a run. Gruel's at third base, then Jaslove singled to left field to get the Larks their first run. 1-1 ball game here in the third inning. Late on the swing, one reads the scoreboard. I believe we'll get a correction here from the umpire in a second. I believe it should be 1-2. Sakamoto in his third inning goes from the windup. Tarosian pops this one to the left side and foul. Rawson on deck, Halter in the hole for Hayes. Well struck, it goes down the right field line, but will be just foul. So we'll do it again, 1-2. Jack this season against the Outlaws, 0 for 4, but he's walked 2 times and scored 2 runs because of it. Has also driven in a run. He will be down on strikes here, going down looking for the second out of the third inning.
Tonight's 8th Street Liquor Beverage batter, the second baseman, Rossa.
2-way for Rawson, who grounded out to a second baseman. Link in the first inning, and our second baseman will be looking for his first hit of the day. Versus the Outlaws this season, he is 4 for 11 with 3 RBIs, 4 runs scored. One of his hits, a home run, one of them a single, the other 2 are doubles for him. 0-1 home, he grounds it to the left side, hustles down the first base line. Townsend dives towards, but his throw way late. A tough play, and Hunter Rawson lays out an infield single.
All drinks the remainder of this half inning, courtesy of 8th Street Liquor and Hunter Rawson.
Because he's the beverage batter, Larks fans will get half-price drinks for the remainder of the third inning. Runner at first, 2 outs here, and the third for Jackson Halter. Rawson now on an 8-game hitting streak. He is tied with Leo Geminian for the team lead and will have a chance to take over the team lead tomorrow because Geminian playing for his home country of France in the European Championships right now. Getting some time as on the national team, played for their U18 teams and some of the younger teams, but is now seeing some more action for the big dogs. 0-1 count, runner at first in the form of Hunter Rawson. Halter on the day, lined out to Link for the third out of the first inning. It was a 1-2-3 inning. However, Halter, not in his last game, but the one before that against the Rough Riders, 5 for 6. 2 of his hits home runs, also had a double. He scored 3 times, driving in 4. He pushed his OPS above 1. Before the game, it was at .846, and after the game, 1.097. Currently, he's sitting at 1.098. Only rose 1/1000th against the Dodge City A's in a 2-for-4 effort, where he drove in a run. Rawson takes off. The throw is going to be late and left of the bag. It doesn't go very far into center field, so he will stay at second base. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs for Jackson Halter. Rawson has speed. He's a little bit more selective than some of the other guys on the team in terms of base running aggression. But because of his selectivity, he's a perfect 7 for 7 in stolen base attempts. He's third on the team in stolen bases, behind Jeminian and Tarosian. 1-2 home. Halter timing off on the swing. He will go down on strikes. Now it'll be 0 for 2 in the day. Larks leave Rawson at second base. Into the 4th we go here in Hayes. We are tied up at 1.
Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. No, oh, oh, and I ain't never gonna stop. Come on, listen to me. I've tried so many times to tell you I can be. Why isn't it enough to be faithful and also be the hit of the party? Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball pops. But I have to be me, and everyone can see your finger is misplaced, and I'm gonna tell you, don't hate me 'cause I get attention. Don't turn me into what I'm not. I have to be me 24/7, and I ain't never gonna stop. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Never gonna stop. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. I ain't never gonna stop. No, no. Oh, I ain't never gonna stop. I ain't never gonna stop.
Top of the 4th here in Hayes. Hunter Marshall returns for his 4th inning of work. Bullpen empty. They're going to let him go as long as he can get us today. Leading it off for the Colorado Springs Outlaws is Quinn Marr, 0 for 1 on the day. Flying out to center field, Jack Tarosian. For the second out of the 2nd inning, he has a quick 0-2 count against Marshall. Marshall's numbers today, he's given up just 4 hits, walked 2, a 1-run scored. It was only his 2nd earned run of the season, and he's left 4 guys on. Ground ball goes to Cade Brown at first base. He fields it with his left foot on the bag and gets us a quick first out of the 4th. Making his debut on Larks Network is the Tennessee Volunteer, the man who claims to be the best basketball player on the roster, Caleb Meredith. Caleb, what's up?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm happy to be here, Larks Network. And it's definitely not a claim to be the best basketball player. That's a fact.
You capping, bro. You've been scared to play me since you got to Hayes.
For anybody listening, Carson refuses to come play against me.
It's not true. This man just never texts me when he's at the gym, but he knows I'm always there. 1-0 delivery will miss inside. 2-0 to Lane Harris, the DH, who walked in the first inning. Marshall only allowed 3 walks in his first 18 2/3 on the season. In this game, he has walked 2. Scoreboard here, Larks Park shows 2-1 counts. Caleb, it's hot outside. How's that? When you're Hunter Marshall on the mound, you're working a long inning. Does that heat get to you?
That heat absolutely gets to you, and most of baseball and pitching in itself is a mental battle. The hotter it gets, the more you got to battle that. I mean, cold or hot, it's a mental game, and you just got to be, I guess, smarter and stronger than the batter.
Marshall has a good tempo on the mound, has one of the quickest deliveries, and doesn't waste time and does it here, striking out another one on the day. That is his second, 25th on the season, so that quick tempo will help him stay off the mound longest and get to the dugout quickly. There's quick 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Jaron Gorsh comes up late. He grounded out to Marshall to end the 2nd inning. Two-away, base is empty. Called strike here from Marshall. Marshall, a Keller, Texas native, stayed down south and plays for the UTA Mavericks. We'll have a new coach next year. And sees this one get sent to left center field. Terosian moves in from center and works a 1-2-3 inning, helping out Marshall. A ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout. Marshall's first 1-2-3 inning of the day, and he takes us to the bottom of the 4th. We're tied up at 1 here in Hayes. Bottom of the 4th here in Hayes, Kansas. Garrett Gruhl will lead things off for the Larks. 1-for-1 today with a double, and he scored a run on the Jazz Love single. Grounds this one back to Sakamoto, who's having a good game, much better than he pitched on the 4th of July against the Larks. Gets a quick out here to start the 4th inning. It'll bring up Dylan Dreiling, who is 0-for-1 today. Dreiling will be joining you at the University of Tennessee next year. What's your thoughts on the youngin?
Love him. He's got a great bat. Does a great job of just dropping the barrel on the ball. It's a really simple swing. Pulls off of it sometimes, but when he stays straight and just drops that barrel, the ball goes a long way.
It's gone a long way for him a few times this season. He's picked up 4 home runs for the Larks. He's batting .397. Will look to raise it in this at-bat. It's in the zone for a called strike. 0-2 counts. Cade Brown on deck. Jazz Love in the hole for Hayes. Sam Hendon standing up in the pen, starting to get loose, but he's not throwing yet. Nobody up in the pen for the Outlaws. A 1-2 count here to Dreiling. Hard cut here, but he will go down, swing Sakamoto's second strikeout of the day. He struck out Terosian in the last, strikes out Dreiling here, strikeout number 22 on the season. To the plate now, the Oklahoma Sooner and Franklin, Tennessee native Cade Brown. It's his second summer with the Larks. Batted .238 last summer through 19 games. This year's having a good year at the plate, but he's seen limited action. Has an OPS sitting at .832. He's picked up 15 RBIs and scored 10 runs.
Love guys from Tennessee. They're the best.
You a little biased there?
No, I don't think it's bias. I think that's just some truth.
Well, Cade's only half from Tennessee. Last year he claimed that he was a California native. This year he switches it, so probably saw that you were on the roster and said,
Yeah.
I want to be from the same state as him.
I think it was me and Jazz Love, come in, and he was like, "Wow, those guys from Tennessee are just some really nice, funny guys. I think I want to be one."
No, you're just as good at pitching as you are at cracking jokes up here. That was a good one, Caleb.
So not very good at either.
That's not true. We talked about you yesterday on the broadcast, your outfielding days, because you were bragging about that when we were in Liberal, and we got to see you flash the glove and flash the bat yesterday.
There wasn't much of a flash of the bat. Missed the ball pretty good. Got to stand in the outfield for 3 innings. Didn't get a ball. Was really hoping. We had runners on first and second at one point. Was really hoping I could get a hard grounder and try to throw them out at home.
They say there was a ball that kind of went in your area, but you got called off. And
I did get called off. I guess I don't have too much seniority out there yet. We're working on it, though.
It'll come. A 3-2 count to Brown. Swing sends this one off the end of his bat. It rolls to the second baseman, Link. Larks go scoreless, and we'll be back for the 5th in a tie ball game here in Hayes. Top of the 5th here in Hayes. Hunter Marshall returns for a 5th inning of work after the Larks go in order in the 4th inning. Marshall faced off against the top of the order, T.J. Townsend, who singled in the 3rd inning and scored the lone run of the day for the Colorado Springs Outlaws. Oh, 1 count, nobody outs here in the 5th. Outlaws' lone run of the day came in that 3rd inning. Larks' lone run of the day came against the 2nd inning. Kind of a different game between these two teams after the Larks outscored the Outlaws 33-0 in the first 2 games. Marshall delivers home, misses inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
That 33-0 does count my really bad at bat.
Yeah.
It does.
You really helped the team score 33 runs.
Well, I think they just put the pitchers in to get some outs quicker, and I did my job. I got out.
So you've had 1 plate appearance before that. Didn't you hit against the Collegians back in like early June?
Yeah, one of the first few weeks here.
That ball went off the bat pretty well, I can't lie. It drifted out there.
I remember you saying on the first swing I fouled one off, and I remember you saying it was an ugly swing. and I think I could hear that from the plate. So, I just tried to make it a little better. It's 405 dead center, was probably about 15 feet short of the warning track. I thought I had that kind of power, and I don't.
Hey, man. I do what I do. I got to broadcast the games, but I also got to motivate the homies.
That's what you did, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3-2 count. We'll get a payoff pitch from Marshall, and it'll be fouled off, and we will stay at a full counts. Sam Hendon's starting to throw some out in the left field bullpen. Colorado will be continuing to rock with Sakamoto. They have not sent a single guy out there. They threw 4 pitchers in 6 innings yesterday, and they're riding with their southpaw to Bellevue today. Marshall walks his third of the day, and there will be a runner at first with nobody out. On the call right now, it's Carson Ackerman, me, and then Larks pitcher Caleb Meredith. We're going to bring back the booth cam. So, Caleb, you're talking about Hunter Marshall on the mound and what he was able to do, and we also know that he's a UTA Maverick, but he was recruited by Oklahoma and will be playing for this coach that recruited him. Talk a little bit about what that and how that can help Marshall out, that familiarity for a new coach.
Anytime you get a new coach, you have that battle of trying to figure out, proving yourself and trying to get that camaraderie not only among new players on the team, but also with your coaches and figuring out who can do what. Hunter Marshall was recruited to Oklahoma, and the guy that recruited him will be his new coach at UTA. So I think that's a great thing for him. He's already got that familiarity, and hopefully can just go and do what he's done all summer and get an extended role.
He recruited by Oklahoma in high school, committed there, and now is at UTA. But I think the Van Hook's going to be happy to have him at UTA. He is cooking this year for the Larks. Only 2 earned runs this summer. I mean, Marshall's been a good arm. You got a scouting report for us on just how good this kid has been for us?
To me, watching his bullpens, watching him pitch, as he picks a guy off.
What a move.
That was going to be one thing I say. A great pickoff move, not afraid to use it.
He's picked one guy off already and will not make it 2 here. The throw to Rawson is bobbled. It is a long pickle, and Townsend is safe at second base.
That sun is setting right in Rawson's eyes on that play, though. Probably need to tag him a little bit earlier, but we'll let Marshall do what he does and get a few guys out with runners in scoring position. But one main thing you got to focus, we've already talked about it, is the tempo with Hunter Marshall. He's not afraid to step on the mound and keep throwing, and when he gets in a groove, he's a dangerous guy. Fastball is lively, it moves a lot, and it ain't slow by any means. But you can't take away from the off speeds either. He's just a great overall pitcher that works quick and throws a lot of strikes, and I don't know any coach that wouldn't like that.
Say he's a good player. He's a good clubhouse guy. I don't know anybody on the team that has ever complained about Marshall. Roomed with him in Colorado. That was fun, and he gets a fly out to Terosian. Weller now 0 for 2 on the day. Marshall, one of 2 Keller natives on the Larks roster the past 75 years in team history, and they go back-to-back. Matt Cavanaugh has played here for the past 3 years, also went to UTA, and Marshall follows in the Cowboys' footsteps. 1 away, runner at second, and as Casey Campbell will come to the box, he is 1 for 2 today. Fly ball to deep left field. Garrett Gruhl is at the warning track. He falls to a knee, drops the ball, and this one will be an error on Gruhl, 2 in scoring position.
Those are the kind of plays as a pitcher that will drive you crazy, but at the same time, you really can't blame him. If he can't see the ball, he can't see it.
See, that sun is tough. You can see the shadows on the field from here. It's bright, but it'll bring Keith Harper out of the dugout to have a chat with Marshall. When we were on the trip to Colorado, Gruhl's teammates, Brady Evans at Murray State, said, somebody got to teach this kid how to field a fly ball. And then Brady said, actually, no, he's got to teach me how to hit one out first. That Gruhl is played in only 6 games for the Larks, but has had 6 really good games. He's got some pop.
I remember, I guess it would have been his first game here at Larks Park. We had some wind howling in from left. Nobody had really hit a ball hard all day. Had just absolutely launched one over the tree out and left out there. That was one of the hardest hit balls we've had this summer, probably.
He's already had a couple home runs at the ballpark, had one yesterday. What do you think Coach Harp's talking to Marshall about on the mound right now?
I mean, part of it is going to be just throwing strikes in the right positions. One of Coach Harper's huge things is if you get a guy 0-2 or you get into any trouble, you know, we can't give up hits in these kinds of situations. He's also going to go out there and tell him, you know, calm down and relax a little bit. You've picked the guy off that's on third now, and the guy that's on second, you got to fly out. Yes, you only have one out, but a strikeout here and you're in a great position again. And, you know, like I said, it's tough as a pitcher because you know really neither one of those runners should be on right now. But you can't blame your fielders for not being able to see the ball either.
First pitch strike here to Jaron Wilcox. He's throwing strikes after the mound visit from Harper. Every time Harp struts out to the mound, guys respond well. He's a seasoned coach and knows what he's talking about. Marshall gets a fly ball to right field. Chasing it is Dylan Drowning. It's in foul territory and goes over the right side of the foul wall. 0-2 will go the count. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 in scoring position, 1 away.
That foul ball there, if it stays in play, is probably still one that you want to let drop. If he catches that ball, that runner's probably scoring from third before he can turn around and get it in, even with Dylan's arm.
I say Dylan's got a good arm, but fly ball doesn't matter anymore. He gets the strikeout, just what you wanted after the mound visit, and there's 2 away quick.
Yeah, like I said, absolutely a strikeout there is what you want. Now any play gets you out of the inning. Really your only job now as a pitcher is don't give up a hit.
When you're talking about Drowning not wanting to field that fly ball, I was almost wondering if he would drop it. If it was in play territory. We saw Cade Brown do that earlier in the season with a runner at third base. He elected to let it go and not worry about a runner tagging up.
That's always it's always a tough play as a fielder, and I did struggle with that sometimes in high school as well in some of those situations because you're trying to you have the instinct of let me go catch that ball, but then you have to decide, you know, can I get him out? And you have to be realistic with yourself.
Tough play for Ross, and he dives. The throw from Luke Art's going to be away from home plate, and the Outlaws are going to be up 3-1. Uncharted territory for the Larks, losing to the Outlaws. They have not lost to them since ever. They went 4-0 against them in 2020, didn't play them in 2021, and they didn't play him in 2018 or 2019, the first 2 years of the Outlaws program. Outlaws looking for their first franchise win against the Larks tonight, and they're up by 2 in the 5th. Wright brings home 2 runs. Scoring on the play was Townsend and Campbell. Townsend with 2 of the 3 runs for the Outlaws.
You mentioned as a program they've never beat the Larks, and they are today. Obviously, I hope we win, but you have to say something like, that's something that's great about baseball. When you're playing, it's terrible, but as a baseball fan too, anything can happen any day. You beat a team 22-0 yesterday, and you're down 3-1 in the 5th inning all of a sudden 1 day later.
The thing about the Larks too is you never know what you're going to get. Like you said, that's baseball. Larks went out, got run ruled first game in Colorado, and then put up 20 runs the next day, and then 20 more the next day.
Right.
And since then, it's been smooth sailing since that run rule against the Saints. Larks have only lost 4 games since then. 5.
It's a tough sport to be consistent in every single day, especially as a hitter.
Fly ball to left field. Gruel chases it. It drops in foul territory. You're talking about consistency. It's amazing what some of the guys have been able to do at the plate. Tyler LaRue, the lone Lark to reach a hitting streak of double digits. It got broke about a week or so ago, but it's hard, and especially when guys on other teams are facing guys like Caleb Meredith and Hunter Marshall, it's hard to find hits at the plate and stay consistent with it.
Tyler LaRue in a 10-game hitting streak, it almost surprises me that it was only 10. That's one of the better hitters I've ever seen in my life, to be honest with you.
His swing is so smooth. I get here at a reasonable time to have time to sit up, but I found myself getting here and watching LaRue take batting practice. It's like fun. He's got such a smooth swing, and it looks so effortless, and he's just driving them, and he does it in the game, and the kid is a beast.
One thing that impresses me about Tyler that makes me think he's special and could make a lot of money one day playing this game is he hits balls really hard. He hits home runs, but a lot of guys like that are either going to strike out or hit the home run. Tyler hits for average. He's first or second on our team in average, I believe. I don't know for sure, but if he gets 2 strikes on him, he shortens his swing and he does all the right things. But when he does hit the ball, it's hard. He's a great mix of both.
Yeah, LaRue, a great player, getting the day off today. Much needed rest after playing 24 games. And here in Marshall's 7th outing as a Lark, will end the 5th inning with a fly ball to right field. Outlaws score a couple and will take a 2-run lead to the bottom of the 5th as Sakamoto jogs back to the rubber. Bottom of the 5th, Austin Jaslove will lead things off for the Larks. Your teammate at the University of Tennessee. He is 1 for 1 today with an RBI single and is now on a 7-game hitting streak as another guy who has been consistent for the Larks. Line drive goes over the head of Link, and it'll be a leadoff single for Jaslove, his 2nd hit of the day.
Speaking of consistency, showing out for his family. Attendance this week.
He's got fam here. I feel like in half the games at Large Party, he's had family here.
I think he's had family here a lot. They must miss him. I don't blame him. He's a good guy.
There's a lot of family tonight, and it always seems like when family comes to games, they're always raving about the Larks atmosphere. Talk about what it's like at Larks Park, especially compared to when we go out to Colorado.
The games in Kansas that are away are obviously not Larks Park, but they're not as bad. The Colorado games, it's almost dead. There's rarely anybody there, and it's just hard to get going. Even when it's a nice day, great day for baseball, you almost just want to sit there and watch. When you're at Larks Park, it's hard for me to sit down. I'll put a stupid hat on and be walking around, joking in the dugout the whole game. It just something about these people at Hayes just lights you up and gets you more excited to play a baseball game.
You've been rocking those funky hats for sure today with the Uncle Sam hat. We had a feature a couple of weeks ago, Caleb's outfit of the day. I think we need to bring it back.
Yeah, it's just hard to put together whole outfits. The hats are easy, but I'll have to do something. I've got a few ideas. I'll have to do something good here for one of these home games. We've got enough of them left that we can have a little fun.
I say we're on the road Tuesday, but other than that, we're going to be at home a lot before we head to the NBC. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Braden Lucard, who grounded out to Link. And the 2nd inning will strike out here in the 5th inning. Tough swing right there. There's now 1 away with Jaslove at first base and bring on Ben Ferenzi, who also grounded out to the 2nd baseman, but did it in the 3rd inning. The Larks went 1, 2, 3 in the 4th inning. They picked up just 3 hits today, 1 run, leaving 2 guys on. Jazz at first base, a guy on the Larks roster that people forget that he has speed because he's been behind Jack Tarosian and guys like Rawson and Jeminian, but Jaslov can move.
Yeah, he can run a little bit for sure. Coach Vitello, our head coach at Tennessee, has been stated saying Jaslov is one of our better base runners on the team. He does. Not only can he move, he's a very smart guy on the base pass normally. I don't want to jinx it now, but
Ferenzi down 0-2. Jaslov has been very good on the base pass this year, scoring 22 runs. Against the Outlaws this year alone, he has scored 3. Jazz this year in stolen base attempts, 5 of 5.
I believe he did have an off day when we played them in Colorado too, so that 3 runs would be just today and yesterday.
Fly ball from Ferenzi will drop in right to Rosian. Or excuse me, not to Rosian. Jaslov will be safe at second base as Jack Tarosian now comes to the dish. But he did have an off day. He did come in and play defense like late in the game but never got a hit. So yeah, and he's been big against a few teams. Against the Dodge City A's, he had 3 multi-hit games, a 2, 3, and 4-hit games, along with a grand slam. Jaslov, when he is on, he is a very tough out.
Big fan of Dodge City, apparently.
2 on, 1 out. Jazz at second base. Ferenzi at first base. Both guys with some speed. Tarosian's hat gets sent into the fan pavilion. 0-1 count to the Creighton commits.
Love hearing Creighton commit after that.
I got to bring it up, man. He's going back home.
Oh, yeah, great news for him. Get to go home and play at a great field. Creighton plays at the Charles Schwab Field where they do the College World Series every year. He's got a lot more outfield to cover, and I'm going to have to hit the ball a lot harder now. Big field, but getting to go home, and he showed up the day after he committed. He posted it on Instagram and Twitter and showed up on the bus with a new haircut, and it was like we got a new Jack.
New Jack, but same approach, and it's worked for him on base in 45% of his plate appearances this season. Sends this one to the sky in Hayes. Running backwards now in is Link, and he will get the second outs of the 5th inning. Brings up Hunter Rawson, 1 for 2 in the day with a single.
Courtesy of A Street Liquor, the second baseman, Hunter Rawson.
Now, you've never been the beverage batter for the Larks since you're a pitcher, but we got a neat little thing going in Hayes. The fans love it. Some guys don't like the pressure. Some guys love the attention. How do you think you would feel if you were the beverage batter?
I think it all comes down to that first at-bat. If you can come up and get a hit early, I think you've got a lot of pressure relieved and they're going to like you. But I can't imagine being about 0 for 4 and stepping up in the 9th inning and my own fans not being too happy with me.
They say fans, they get intense. They like going down to Larks Nest and not paying full price.
Oh, yeah. But that's a great atmosphere and a great idea, too, that I've never really seen anything like that in any summer ball league at home or any baseball game in general. And it's a great sight to see when the beer batter gets a home run and everyone in the stands is rushing down to the Larks Nest.
They say there was 2 outs when Hunter Rawson got his hit, and the still whole wave of fans moved down to the Larks Nest and were fighting to get half-price drinks courtesy of tonight's second baseman.
Well, yesterday Brady Evans was the beer batter, and I think he had 4 hits.
4 hits, was just a double shy of the cycle. And one of those hits was a grand slam. He hit that one to left field with already 3 hits, was the double short of the cycle, and rounded first. And I
was ready for him to run to second.
I was wanting him to, but he didn't. He made the smart move, but come on, man.
It was the right move, but I definitely wish he would have tried it. If you get out, you get out. We were up by 20.
Right? Say it was 22-0. What's the harm in trying? Rawson will be outs number 3 here of the 5th, and the Larks fans wanted the beverage batter to get a hit here in the 5th. They don't get it. Larks will go scoreless for the 3rd straight inning. To the 6th we go. Hayes trails by 2. Top of the 6th here in Hayes. Sam Hendon will take over on the bump. Marshall gives us 5 innings and tosses the rock to the Central Alabama Trojan. Sam Hendon been one of the best arms out of the pen this year. He's making his 10th appearance. He's thrown 16 2/3, all in relief. 1-0 with a save. Just 1 earned run for him, has an ERA at 0.54. Top of the 6th, 3-1 Outlaws. Smara leading things off. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Harris on deck, Gorsh in the hole. The delivery from Hendon, sent to the left side and foul. Hendon out of Central Alabama, one of 2 guys on the team from Central Alabama, along with Cade Hare, both guys with good stuff on the mound. What's your thoughts on Hendon, Caleb?
A lot of my thoughts on Sam would be the same as Marshall. He works quick. Sam is a little more off-speed heavy than Hunter Marshall probably, but works quick, throws a lot of strikes, and has been one of our better relievers this summer. You can't really argue with that. So anybody that's getting guys out and doesn't take a lot of time between pitches, like I said about Marshall, I'm going to love that, and I don't know how any coach could, as he gets an out that quick.
That ground ball goes to Ferenzi. It's in time to first. You were talking about the sun earlier. You can see Ferenzi shooting his eyes, but it doesn't affect the Aussie. 1 up, 1 down for Hendon. Talking about how good Sam Hendon is. You were just talking about him. He hasn't allowed an earned run in 35 days.
It's impressive stuff right there. Talking about the sun, yesterday when I was throwing, I had a ground out to third. Ferenzi was there, and it came off the bat a little bit in the air and ended up being a ground out. There was a few feet, and he said that he didn't really see the ball until it was almost on him. That sun, when it starts going down behind them bleachers, can be a little brutal here.
Gruel's in left field shielding his eyes. But in the meantime, Hendon throws in another strike. 0-2 count here to Harris, the DH. A line drive to the right side, foul. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Gorsh on deck. Townsend in the hole for the Outlaws, who lead by 2. Hendon's last outing was against the A's, where he picked up his first win of the season. On the 6th, throwing 2 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. Pop-up goes to the right side. Jackson Halter chases it from behind the plate and gets the second out of the inning. Meredith on the mic. Hendon and Hunter Parker combined for a no-hitter on the 18th. Hunter Parker carried 5 innings. You threw 2, and then Hendon threw the last in the run rule in 8 innings. Talk about that no-hitter and that experience here at Larks Park.
Any no-hitter is going to be a great experience, whether one pitcher goes or multiple pitchers go. But I was telling you earlier before the broadcast, I can't take a whole lot of credit for that. Well, great play by Sam.
I say, loses the glove, the ball goes in the glove, bounces out, and then he throws it to first in time. But wrap up your thoughts on the no-hitter before we go to break.
Can't take a whole lot of credit for that. Hunter Parker going 5 innings scoreless and a 7-inning run rule or 8-inning run rule is a great job. But I just tried not to give up a hit and continue it. Did my job, and Sam did the same.
I say it was a good game. Went out there, pitchers dominated. I try my best not to talk about it on the mic because I don't want to get on the bus for a road game and get blamed for the jinx. But we got the no-hitter. Larks won it, and they're looking for another win today. Would be their 22nd of the season, but down by 2, they got some work to do.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the sixth, Jackson Halter will lead things off after a 1-2-3-6 for Sam Hendon and Caleb Meredith's favorite song between innings, the Hayes Larks anthem. Hear it every day, a few times at the park and on the broadcast, but you would say it never gets old, but it does start to get old.
Yeah, I could see it getting a little bit old, but you know, I've got one summer here. I'm always going to be rooting for the Hayes Larks.
Whether they win or whether they lose.
Whether they win or whether they lose, I'm always rooting for them.
1-1 delivery to Jackson Halter, who had a nice play behind the plate in the top of the inning. He goes down 0-2. He's 0 for 2 today with the line out to Link and then a strikeout in the third inning. Jackson Halter's had a couple of really good games.
Oh, yeah.
And against the Outlaws, getting his first action, but had a 5-hit effort in his second to last game, and then another game against the Outlaws where he was just ripping the ball all over the field. Doesn't get a whole lot of action because he's splitting time behind the plates with LaRue and Evans, but when he's playing, he does really well. That's just a really talented trio of catchers for the Larks that have helped out a lot of guys on the team.
Jackson, in our game against the Rough Riders in Colorado, I believe he was 2 home runs, a double, and a couple singles, maybe. Just a triple shy of the cycle with 2 home runs.
Say
been really hot lately.
He loves that middle school that we play at, because against the Rough Riders, 2 games had 2 home runs against them, and then followed up with another good game against Dodge. But yeah, he's only got 1 more year left at Seminole State if he chooses it, but wherever he goes after that, coach is going to get a really good catcher.
And a really good hitter.
1-0 count here to Garrett Gruhl, who doubled in the second inning and scored the lone Larks run of the day. Throw down to first, Halter's in standing up. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck is Dylan Dreiling, Cade Brown in the hole for Hayes. Sakamoto still on the bump, having one of his best outings of the summer. And he gets a called strike. Sakamoto pitches at Bellevue University, at NIA school in Colorado. Has made 17 appearances there, going 1-0. ERA sitting at 5.23, striking out 33 and giving up 39 hits.
Not a bad left-handed arm for sure. We got on him last time.
I say he pitched against us on the 4th, and we handled our business against him. But today he's looking good.
He's done a lot better, absolutely.
2-1 home.
It might have something to do with our poor celebrity coaching at first base over there.
Cam Walton, now that he's on the DL, getting some free time to coach first base. I'm sure that's why the Larks are struggling at the plate.
It's got to be that.
Halter takes off for second, but won't need a throw because Gruhl will pick up his first walk of the day. 2 on, tying run at first. Go ahead at the plate, and Dylan Dreiling.
The right fielder.
You want to talk about basketball a little bit? Cam Walton can play too.
I heard his little brother's even better, though.
Cam's little brother is a really good basketball player. From video I've seen and stuff he's told me, I think he's playing in an Under Armour qualifying tournament right now in Atlanta, I believe. And had 20-something yesterday, so really good player.
Dreiling shows bunt. It's a called strike, but we got some hoopers on the team. I like us against any other teams in the RMBL in a pickup game.
We love to go. Just about every off day, there'll be about 10 of us there, and we'll run 5-on-5 games. I would like our odds really against anybody in the Midwest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, give me any summer league baseball team out there. I think we're gonna handle them.
Say you all-time leading scorer at your high school and got a lot of recognition out there in Tennessee. Had the option to play collegiate basketball, but decided to focus on baseball.
Yeah, basketball's a lot bigger at home than baseball. Being from the South, everything is football and basketball, and there's nothing else. So with being one of the better athletes at my school in basketball and baseball, I had really nobody know me for baseball in the whole town. It was all basketball stuff. And I even had people I knew. I thought this is hilarious to me. I had people I knew the day after I committed to Tennessee, who at the time was, I think, 11th in the country that year, walk up to me and say, "Congratulations, I didn't even know you played baseball."
Pitch goes over Drowling's head. Runners move up. Halter at third. Gruel at second base, but I mean, football's king down south.
Absolutely.
Basketball is almost a secondary sport and not a primary sport there just because how big football is. But Tennessee, a baseball school, you guys were number one in the nation for most of the year, and you made sure people down south knew about baseball.
Well, we like to we play the game a little different than everybody else. And a lot of people don't like us for it. They call us villains or whatever, but we just like to have a good time. We're a team, and our fiery coach is the same as us. You know, if we hit a home run, we're going to bat flip, and we're going to let you know about it. And, you know, just try to have a good time playing the game, and it seems to work for us.
Say no bat flips in basketball. Did you ever have like a 3 celebration or anything?
I wasn't a huge 3 celebration guy. There was a few big ones where the adrenaline gets going that I had. You know, I know I hit going into halftime of some game. I don't even remember what it was. Hit like a buzzer beater 3, and I gave it a little like bow and arrow type action.
Clean.
Yeah, but it didn't get much more impressive than that.
This past year at K-State intramurals, I think I celebrated more than I scored. But
someone's got to do that.
So you got to have fun out there. It's one, it's basketball, and 2, it's intramurals. Nobody really cares.
Yeah, absolutely. High school basketball in Tennessee was, unless you were doing good, nobody cares. So just have a good time.
When we finally get a square up on the court, I'll be doing a lot of celebrating when I take my dub.
Yeah, you probably will. I might have to come back on the broadcast after that day to make sure that you're not telling everybody that you won.
I'll show the tape on the game. It's Cade Brown at the plate. He's working with a 3-0 count after the Drowling strikeout. Tying run in scoring position. Gruel at second. Halter at third base. Brown on the day 0 for 2, looking for his first hit.
I'd look to see him go to the right side here if he gets good contact with the ball.
Green light on the 3-0. He's swinging at it, but no contact. 3-1. Jazz on deck. Lukart in the hole for Hayes. Got a big gap in right field. Big gap in right center. If he can take this one oppo and bring home Garrett Gruel, be a tie game. But he will settle for a walk. Second walk of the inning. Sakamoto goes 5 good innings, but here in the 6th, he's walked 2, allowed 1 single, and he's only gotten 1 out. Bases loaded for Austin Jaslove, who is not a guy I'd want to pitch to with the bases loaded. He is 2 for 2 today with 2 singles.
As soon as I start talking good about him, he starts walking people. That's how it always goes,
I
right?
appreciate you coming up here and giving us the jinx and helping us out.
Well, absolutely. I might keep talking about how good he is here before he pitches to Jaslove and see if we can give a ball a ride one time.
Jaslove with 25 RBIs this season. 8 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 1 home run. Sakamoto, the southpaw to Bellevue, going up against the Tennessee Volunteer. First pitch home, Jaslove chases low, 0-1 counts. Larks 6 hits today. They have left 4 on, and have only scored 1 run. That was back in the 2nd inning off the Jaslove single, who coincidentally he brought home Garrett Gruel, who was in scoring position, and is in scoring position again here in the 6th. 1-1 counts. Nobody moving in the pen for the Outlaws, and same situation for the Larks. Outlaws looking to go off of Sakamoto as long as they can.
we've talked about Jazz Love today and how good of a hitter he's been. And, personally, I love his swing. It's a little different, a little unorthodox on the front side, but his barrel stays through the zone for so long. That's part of how I think he keeps his consistency. But we've talked about how good he's hitting, and we've got him up with bases loaded, 1 out, and we talked about Tyler LaRue, who seems to be on deck.
That's big right there. Do you think they were planning on pinch hitting him for Lucard here in the 6th inning before this inning, or they see the situation at hand and say, we need arguably our best bat?
To me, I think you see the situation. You see we're down 3-1. Let's put average-wise our 2 best hitters back-to-back here and try to get something.
Jazz Love grounds this one to third base. Maher throws home, will get out Jackson Halter, who didn't have the courtesy runner as the catcher. And that'll be out number 2. No throw after it, but it'll bring up a dangerous bat in LaRue.
Now batting for the Larks from Houston Baptist University.
I did see him in the batting cages before the game because he thought he was going to be off, so let's hope he got that swing figured out.
He's batting .402 this season, .468 on base percentage. He's driven home a team-leading 32 runs off of 37 hits. Looking for another one here. He has Jazz Love at first, Brown at second, Gruel at third. Sakamoto from the stretch, pitch home, outside 1-0.
Not a bad pitch. That's probably where I would have to go against a guy like this too.
So I wouldn't want to pitch to LaRue. It's his 25th game, and he's had 24 really good ones before this one. Against the Outlaws this year, he's played in a couple of games. He's 3 for 4, scoring 4 runs, driving in 2, has also picked up 2 walks.
Another thing to say about Tyler, you look at him, and he's 240 pounds, 6'2", 6'3". He just looks like a guy that would be mean, or you know what I'm trying to say.
I say this is. I think
he's probably one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
This is what Tanner Rice and I were talking about. That when Tanner was on the mic, he looks like Thor. He's a big guy with a nasty swing, and then you talk to him, and it's like, what?
And yeah, he's like a little kid. He really is. We call him Thor. He's, like I said, a huge dude, little menacing. But then you talk to him, he's probably been one of my best friends this summer, and I love the guy. He's one of the nicest people you'll ever talk to.
He's working with the 1-2 counts, looking to bring home a couple.
And he's signing autographs tonight.
Have you had your autograph not yet? Yeah, we had ours together.
Yeah, we had ours together. We
Sorry for getting that. That's on me.
Yeah, well, forgot about me, huh?
It was I've never seen a line that long for autographs with us two next to each other.
They were all going to you too. That's what's crazy. The voice of the Larks.
Maybe, man. Maybe it's because I had Jack next to me. Jack had 20 autographs from one person, but it was his dad.
It was his dad, But, parents can always be the biggest fan, too. I'm not going to say anything about that. I will say it threw me off guard a little bit. He's from Omaha, Nebraska, and his parents came here for that signing night to watch him during the College World
Series when it's at Omaha.
I said, Jack, they can watch a lot better baseball at home, buddy.
Can they? I don't know. I feel like the Larks could.
Not a lot better than Jack Tarosian.
There's a full count here to LaRue. The payoff pitch. Swings at it just to stay alive. Good pitch from Sakamoto. We will do it all again.
I'm all for coming to watch my son play, but I think I would watch the College World Series and come watch him next week if that were me.
I will say Larks games are cheaper than a ticket to the College World Series.
A whole lot cheaper, absolutely. Jack has told me, I asked him about it, he said he did go about every year, though, that he loved going to watch it.
Maybe he'll get a chance to play in one at Creighton now. We'll play at the stadium anyway, but
he'll be there. Oh, yeah. That's an experience not a whole lot of people get, whether you're in the College World Series or just playing against Creighton. That's a very nice field and a great environment.
Another one fouled off from LaRue. Sunset, shade all over the field. Moon showing here in Hayes. Well, working along at bat here with LaRue. Gruel at third. Jazz at first and Brown at second.
I think this will be the pitch where we either get a mistake or a walk.
Payoff pitch home. It's down the middle, and LaRue will strike out looking. Thought he had an RBI walk, Instead, we will end the 6th inning. Larks leave them loaded and will trail by 2 as we move to the 7th.
I think the fans thought that was the walk pitch.
It was close, but I don't know.
You never know.
Top of inning number 7. Top of the order, TJ Townsend will lead things off against Sam Hendon. He got a single back in the 5th inning. Larks work a long 6th inning, but Hendon responds well after a big gap. First pitch strike. He worked a 1-2-3-6 and had that nice play on a ball grounded back to him to end the inning.
Knocked his glove off.
Knocked his glove out, and then the ball came out of the glove, and then he just barehanded it, got to first in time.
If the ball stays in his glove, do we call that out?
No.
No. Just trying to get you there.
I would say it bounced before it got there anyway, so. I think it's some better trick questions.
I'm new to this.
0-2 counts. Hendon's third pitch popped over the backstop. Alton rushes towards it, but it's going to be in the grandstand.
Jackson has caught one of those already today.
Nice play. Brady Evans had a nice catch yesterday, losing the face mask and making a nice play behind home plates. Some good defensive catchers. I don't know what they're like necessarily calling a game. I've never had a pitch when you're out there, but they seem to be working when you're on the mound, and they've saved a lot of pass balls this year.
Oh, yeah. And that pop-up play is extremely hard. That's probably one of the hardest plays to make defensively in baseball, for a catcher to throw off his mask and go find it. And the ball, where it gets a little spin on it, always comes back. So it'll look like it's going out sometimes and then kind of shoot back toward their head. That's a really tough play. Always love a catcher that can catch this consistently.
Larks have been on it defensively as a catcher, and have had a good defensive night as this one's sent into center field. Jack Tarosian moves left and gets the outs out in center field. 4 up, 4 down for Sam Hendon. It'll take us to 2-0, Austin Weller.
Number 5, Austin Weller.
No, I don't think there's any dip on the catchers. You can throw any of them you want in any night, and they're going to give you some hits and be great defensively, all 3 of them. I don't think there's no weak link in that trio.
Halter, Evans, and LaRue all been good. LaRue and Halter first year Larks. Evans in his second year. Had a really good defensive year. Yes, last year only had, or was tied for the least amount of pass balls had as a catcher, and caught 55 more innings than the guy he was tied with. 0-1 counts here. Weller at the plate sees a ground ball grounded to Jaslove. Jaslove throw to first. In time, good play from the shortstop from Tennessee. You and Jazz Love teammates at Tennessee. How'd you guys get recruited to come to the Larks?
I don't know his story. I'm sure it was close to the same. But there's a I wouldn't say big league, but a decently skilled league near me in the Appalachian Mountains of Tennessee called the Appalachian League, obviously. And so they had talked to me about maybe going there, playing at home. So I got them in contact with some people I knew. And then I showed up at the field about 3 days later and walked into the bullpen. My assistant pitching coach was there, and he goes, "Meredith." "Yes, sir." He goes, "I need you to sign this contract and have it emailed to Coach Frank Leo by midnight tonight. You're going to Hayes." Where is Hayes?
But you made it here none the same.
I did make it here. That's a long drive.
You had a couple teammates on the roster there that had spent the past summer in Hayes, Jake Fitzgibbons and Cortland Lawson. Did you talk to them about it at all after that?
I think Jazz Love, as a position player, was talking more to Cortland, and I spent more time talking to Jake as a pitcher. Both of them had only great things to say about the Larks and the people of Hayes as a whole.
Well, that's good, and we're glad you're in Hayes as Sam Hendon works another 1, 2, 3 innings, 6 up, 6 down after the pop-up is reined in by Ferenzi. To the 7th inning stretch we go, down by 2. Second half of the 7th inning, Ben Ferenzi to lead things off. We're at the bottom of the order. He is 1 for 2. Larks brought 6 to the plate in the last inning and left the bases loaded. They've done that a few times this year. They'll look to get back on the scoreboard here in the 7th. Sakamoto returns for the 7th inning of work and throws from the stretch. Just inside 2-0. He's going from the windup. He's thrown now 102 pitches.
It's unbelievable.
Fly ball to right field will be foul.
102 pitches and giving up 1 run is a really good outing for sure.
102 sounds like a lot. Then think about when we were in Fort Collins, that one dude 140.
I've never seen that in my life. To me, I'm not a coach. I don't want to talk bad about their coach, but to me, that's why there's rules in Little League and stuff. You can't do that to a guy's arm.
I almost wonder if it's his. He was like only a sophomore in college, so was it like his last summer ever playing, like his last season playing? Well, no, because he's got 2 years of eligibility left, or
right.
He just doesn't care about his arm.
I mean, you just have to think about something like that, and I mean, he probably didn't get out of bed the next day. When I throw 4 or 5 innings, next day for me, I'm hurting. And not to discredit the guy at all, but he didn't throw necessarily that hard. So maybe it's not as taxing on his arm, but 150 pitches almost is still something you never see in baseball.
We will take on the Fort Collins Fox again on Thursday. First pitch at 7 p.m. Catch it right here on Larks Network. Who knows? Maybe he'll throw another 9 innings against us. Hopefully the result different this time.
Oh, yeah. It was one of those, like, we were in the dugout. You know, he comes out for the 6th inning and the 7th and the 8th. And you're like, when is this guy going to stop? And we went to extras and he came trotting out in the 10th.
And this is a game that Brady Rose, they couldn't touch him. Everybody was off on their swings against him, but we had to pull him because of pitch count. He had to pull him at 65, but he was working a no-hitter, and that's tough. Much different coaching approaches from the two different dugouts.
Absolutely. That's one bad thing about having a great pitcher like Brady Evans or Brady Rose. Sorry, his school cares about him a lot because they know how good he is, and he can't contribute as much as you'd want him to in the summer.
Well hit from Terosian. It's over the first base bag. Rolls down the right field line. Going from first to third is Ferenzi, and Jack Terosian has his first of the day. It's a double, 2 in scoring position with nobody else. Well struck ball, got past to Wilcox and continued to roll. Takes us to Hunter Rawson, 1 for 3 on the day. And
another guy that's just recently committed to a new school.
It's true. You heard him announcements quite a few times from the PA guy and before the game, but he's yet to make an official announcement. I've been nagging at him when he's going to officially announce that he's a Buckeye, but in due time. But yeah, him and Jack commit within a week of each other, and I don't think that'll be it. We got a few other guys who I assume will have some new schools come August.
It'd be interesting to see. I can't wait to see how everybody does this summer. I'll definitely be keeping up with everybody.
It'll be fun. That's one of the best things about like summer baseball. You don't know anything about these guys. You meet them, hang out every day for 2 months, and then probably will never see them again unless you play in the same league or on the same team.
Right.
But then you get to follow the rest of their careers from afar, and thanks to social media and everything online, it's not too hard to keep up with how they're doing.
It's definitely an interesting feeling. I've had, you know, we've as a team, some have even talked about it with a lot of guys. You know, we'll be hanging out and all having a great time, and then you realize, like, you know, these guys feel like family. Of course, all the people in Hayes are family with us too, but these guys feel like family, and I've known them for a month. I might not see them again.
And we'll get back to that in a second. The ground ball from Rawson goes between the legs of Link. It's an E4 and score on the play. Rawson safe at second base, and the Larks tie it up. It was going to score a run anyway, but because of the error, Rawson is safe. There's still nobody out, and we are tied up here in Hayes, and we'll bring Jackson Halter to the plate. Scoring Terosian and scoring Ferenzi.
Sometimes it just takes a little luck.
That's what we needed. We're tied now quick. Rawson will be upset he didn't get a hit. I know he's shooting for a 400 batting average for the month of July, but he'll still be safe at second base. But you know, that's just, we're going back to talking about summer ball. That's like, you know, you're saying like we've only known like the guys on the team for a month, and you're like, it's family, and that's how quick this team has meshed, and just as quick as we mesh is as soon as we'll dismantle and probably never see half the guys again.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely unbelievable to me. You know, showing up first day, not knowing anybody, introducing names, and, you know, probably within 2 weeks after that, you know, it was like everybody on the team was best friends. There's nobody that, you know, we don't like or anything like that. We're just all always together everywhere we go.
You can kind of see like that first week or so, like the guys from the same schools kind of stick together, and then maybe some of the former Larks will mesh and reunite, but a couple weeks in, it's just one big team, man.
It makes it a lot easier. I know he's not here. It makes it a lot easier when you have guys like Luke Trevik too, because I think that guy went around talking to everybody for like the first 2 days, and a really nice guy like that is a great icebreaker for something like summer ball. And
I knew Luke was one to be a leader, and you know, he was one of the ones that like initiated like the first like team hangouts and stuff, but it was cool to see him go from like a first year guy not knowing anybody to like being the second year guy, and it was like, all right, I gotta role to take on. And yeah, Luke was just that dude, man. It's tough to see him go, but I know he's planning on coming back next summer. So
Leo at Jimmy on and Brady Evans showed up a little late, but to have Cade Brown and Luke Trevik here in the first few days to sort of show everybody around and get them accustomed and like I said, be a great icebreaker was a great thing. It's two great guys.
The day of the alumni game, we had a few Larks back in town, and Luke was talking to him and I was talking to him, and everybody just kind of on the team seemed tense. They didn't really know each other, and we were kind of just minding our own business. And one of the former Larks was like, they're gonna win a lot of games, but they're not gonna have fun unless they start becoming friends and getting loose. And Luke was like, oh, don't worry, I'll get them. And then, sure enough, we're having a lot of fun and winning a lot of games.
Yeah, Luke was a great guy, man. Him hung out a lot, would go fish, would go do all kinds of stuff. Sad to see him go.
No, he's back in the Netherlands. I see him posting. But right now it is Garrett Gruhl time. He's working with the 2-2 count. He's 1 for 2 today. He also has picked up a walk and scored a run. Ground ball goes up the middle, and he will pick up an RBI and put the Larks ahead. Rosson scores his first run of the day. Larks refuse to give up. Here in the bottom of the 7th, it is now 4-3 Hayes, thanks to Garrett Gruhl and Hunter Rosson.
It's just Garrett doing what he does.
RBI for Garrett Gruhl. It is his 8th of the season. Hunter Rosson scores his team-leading 32nd run of the season. Jazz Lopez out in the dugouts. We will get a new pitcher here in the 7th inning. Hayes up by 1.
Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
You're tuned in to the Larks Network.
Bottom of the 7th, Dylan Dreiling will be at the plate. Garrett Gruhl at first base. Larks have scored 3 this inning. They're up by 1. First pitch bounces off Randy Jordan, and moving up into second base is Garrett Gruhl. It was a hesitant run to second, but he finally went forward and is in without a throw.
I don't think he could see the ball behind the catcher. He's at second either way, though.
Actually, the team was yelling at him to run. I see a few guys up in our pen, but I'm not sure any of them are actually pitchers. I see Brady Evans swinging a bat, but, I mean, Sam Hendon, why would you take him out of the game? 6 up, 6 down.
No, you absolutely keep riding a guy like that.
This pitch to Dreiling at his feet, has to dodge out of the way. Crowd lets out a gasp as they thought he was nearly hit. New pitcher in the game, Brady Christensen out of Iowa Western Community College. Just like Jack Tarosian, he's an Omaha native. Tarosian doubled and scored this inning. Two-one count here to Dreiling. Christensen's first appearance on the mound this season. Three and one count here to the Hayes native. Brown on deck, Jaslove in the hole. Kroll standing at second base for the Larks. Drove in the go-ahead run. Scoring on the play was Rawson. Dreiling gets all of this one. It's a home run for him. This time I can say no doubter.
Absolutely.
And he will pick up his 5th home run of the season for the Larks. And as a Lark, that is home run number 7. The Larks score now 5 in this inning. They are up 6-3. Gruel scores for the second time. Dreiling picks up RBIs 30 and 31 in the season. Got all of that one pulled into left field. And will get on to put on the home run hat. Not much you can say about that one. He just cranked it.
No, what do you say? I've been waiting for him to hit a ball like that for a long time because it's in him and he hasn't had it in a while. But
he had that one in Boulder that was almost out that burned me, and then you went around posting the video of it online.
I absolutely did. I was off that day, so I saw it happen. I actually didn't even see him. I saw the ball and just kind of reacted off the right fielder. I was like, I think that ball is going to stay in. And then I realized that Dylan was probably 5 feet out of the box. So I went straight to the broadcast, backed up where it was live, screen recorded it, and posted it about everywhere.
And say, I thought it looked, he treated like it was a no-doubter, and the ball looked good from my angle, but he burned me, so he's hit 2 home runs since then. I've been no-doubters, but I've refused to call him no-doubters until I see the ball go over the fence.
Funny enough, he told me after that, he said, I almost bat flipped. He said, I've never really, pimped a home run, as you would call it, walking down the line and bat flip. He said, I almost bat flipped, and that was the first time I've ever pimped a home run like that. And he said, and it didn't go out.
But he got one the next day, and against the Colorado Rough Riders, got it to right field again. He's taken most of his home runs as a Lark to that right field side, and puts the Larks up by 3 here today.
I will say it's a whole different experience being up here and not getting to run the horse out to whoever hit the home run.
That's new to Larks baseball this year. Whose idea was that to have the horse and the pink cowboy hat?
So it was about the time that I started, trying to wear goofy hats and just do anything to make the experience more fun for everybody. It was about that time. We were talking about, we need a home run celebration. We've got a double celebration. We've got all these goofy hats. We're playing good. What are we going to do for home runs? And Cam Walton calls me. I was laying in bed, and I think he was riding home. He calls me, and he goes, Caleb, I've never seen this before. I don't know where I got the idea, but it just came to me. I think we need to get a little stick pony and give it to people to ride when they hit a home run. I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. So we went to Walmart the next day and had the choice between the horse we got and a unicorn, and I think we made the right decision.
I think the unicorn might have been a little too much with the
already pink hat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we went with that horse, and I was a little iffy. We debuted it in Colorado because we got it before we left. It was a little iffy, are people going to think it's dumb, or are people going to like it? and I was on raffle tickets the first day it got used at Hayes, and we hit multiple home runs that day. So first one, everybody's laughing or whatever. Second one, I was up here for raffle tickets, and I think it was Tyler LaRue hit it. And I heard all kinds of people around me, there's the horse. And I was like, okay, this is something that the people are here are going to love, and we need to continue.
K. Brown just struck out. It brings up Jazz Love with 2 away and the base is empty, but the people love the celebration. It's fun, and you were one of the people I saw put on your story today with the picture of Brady yesterday.
Yeah, he really got into it good.
That was golden.
I could tell how hyped up he was, which it was a grand slam, every right to it. So I kind of threw him that horse quick when I ran it out, and he got into it. That was one of the better horse rides we've ever got. I'm hoping if I can ever hit a ball out of the infield, that maybe if I get one, I might ride it all the way around the field. We don't know.
That'll be a sight to see. I'll make sure to get the camera to follow it all the way around. But, yeah, like you said, Brady had every right to be fired up. Family at the park for the first time this summer. Hit a grand slam as the beverage batter. And, yeah.
And he was fired up in that picture. For anybody that's seen it, it was it's one of the better pictures I've ever seen in my life. It'll give you a good laugh.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jazz Love, the 8th hitter of the inning. LaRue, the only one not to hit, on deck right now. And Jazz Love will go down on strikes. Christensen allows a home run, then strikes out 2. Larks score 5 runs in the 7th. They're up by 3 as we move to the final 2 innings in Hayes. Top of the 8th, Sam Hendon returns to the bump. He has worked back-to-back perfect innings, 6 up, 6 down, in his 2 innings of work today.
I mean, like I said, it's a guy that throws a lot of strikes and works with good tempo. That always boils down to just getting a lot of outs. Anytime you throw strikes, especially when you have movement and stuff like Sam Hendon, guys aren't going to hit it very well.
This is a 2-0 count for Jaron Wilcox, who's 1 for 3 today, striking out 2 times, both times against Hunter Marshall. 2 deliveries sent to the right side and foul.
Loves that slider. Loves to throw it all the time, and it's a great pitch for him.
He's worked a lot of this year. Larks rocking with him for his 3rd inning of action, and they're keeping the bullpen quiet. 2-1 home from Hendon. Just misses the zone. 3-1 hitters counts for the cleanup first baseman. Hendon out of Central Alabama. He's an Alexander City native, pitching in his 10th game this summer. Pop fly goes to the right side. Cade Brown chases it from first base, but it will be in out of play territory. Hendon's last outing was against Dodge, where he threw 2 innings in the win. No hits, no runs. The game before that was against Fort Collins, 1 2/3 1 hit, no runs. Before that, against Dodge City again, 1 hit, no runs. I could keep saying no runs all the way up until the June 4th outing. He has had a string of 8 straight appearances without a run. Payoff pitch home from Hendon is going to miss the zone, and he will put aboard his first of the day.
It's not a bad miss, 3-2. That could have gone either way, probably.
Now batting the catcher, number 15, James Wright.
Get a ground ball here, though. Get them both out. We're still seeing the minimum.
The Larks have turned quite a few double plays this year. That middle of the infield between guys like Rawson, Rice, Jasla, Ferenzi, even Hutchison at third. Had some really good defensive plays this year. To be exact, the Larks have turned 24 double plays this season. They haven't turned one today, but wouldn't be bad if they got one here. Keith Harper will come out of the dugouts as Halter goes out to talk with Hendon. The break will continue to go. Second mound is the day for Harper. The last one was when Hunter Marshall was on the mound, and it was quick and it worked. Harper waves Halter home once Sam Hendon one-on-one. What do you think Harp's saying right now?
You know, it's to me, it's going to be something. Again, like I said with Marshall, like a calm down scenario, because you're pitching great. You haven't done, you know, you went 3-2 with a guy, that's fine. There's probably something a little more mechanically. It's going to be something like, you know, get out on that front foot, get that front foot down, and deliver the pitch out front and find the zone.
Whatever it was, we hope it works, as we'll go to James Wright after Hendon walks his first of the day. Sam Hendon's first walk allowed since June 18th. He has thrown now 6 appearances without allowing a walk.
I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention before, but to me, it did look like he got a lot more out on that front foot on that pitch.
So 0-1 counts. He'll be first to work from the stretch. Standing at first base is Wilcox. Front foot is up, pitches home. He gets away from Halter, and the runner will move into scoring position. Larks off of a 5-run 7th inning are up by 3. Under the lights here in Hayes, as Hendon is now working with a 1-1 count versus the 5-hole.
Feels a lot better to be on top. Losing 3-1 wasn't a good feeling.
No, and thankfully it's a feeling we haven't had to feel much this year.
Luckily, yeah.
1-1 lined and bounces past Hunter Rawson. A tough play for him. Running around third base is Wilcox. The throw will be cut off by Rawson, and it'll be an RBI. Tough play for the second baseman. I don't know, what do you think? They're discussing over there, hit or in the air.
You know, that's tough. To me, when they rolled it in air, I was going to say to me it probably is, but it's not something that I think Rawson should be all tied up with himself about. It on a turf field, a ball hit like that's going to skip, and it's going to be a lot faster than it was before it skipped. And when it jumps at either one of your feet or your ankles like that, it's tough not to move. It's just instinct. Kind of moved out of the way and it ran under the glove.
He played infield in high school and played it in Weatherford, but Weatherford needed an outfielder, so he started playing outfield and played both there, and has played seems like more time in the outfield than he has in the infield this summer for the Larks, but with no Tanner Rice for about the next week or so, expect some more action from him there. 0-2 count. Hendon doesn't let it affect him. As Bailey Link at the plate, he's 0 for 3 today, lining out to Brown, grounding out to Jaslow, flying out to Dreiling.
Rosin's one of those unique guys that you can really just throw anywhere on the field. He's played almost every position you can imagine. since he's been here this summer.
I think he's played almost everywhere but caught and third base and first base.
Now batting the third baseman.
We might have to see him pitch sometime soon.
Quinn Law.
On the Larks roster on the website at the beginning of the year, there was like a glitch and it showed him as a left-handed pitcher. So hey, maybe we'll go up there, throw with the non-dom hand, see what's up with that.
I'd give him my glove if he would like to go throw left-handed.
Would be an experience to say the least. One away after the Hendon strikeout, it brings Quinn Marr to the dish. Hendon with 4 straight strikes here. Marr on the day 0 for 3. Tying run out the plates, one away, runner at first.
We were having that competition the other day in Dodge City, trying to pitch to each other with our opposite
I
hand.
saw you throwing to, I think it was Belu with your right hand.
It did not go well for me.
Line drive goes past Sam Hendon, nearly takes him out. A scary moment right there, but maybe not as scary as watching you throw right-handed. I think you should stay with the left hand when you're on the mound.
Yeah, I had a couple good pitches, and I had a curveball go behind the batter and decided that I was going to be a fastball pitcher when I was throwing with my right hand. But, you know, Cam Walton, not bad with his left hand, unbelievably. Maybe he should use it while that right elbow is still in recovery.
Thankfully, that right elbow is recovering better than he initially thought it would. Almost thought he would be done for the season after the initial injury, but he's going to stick around in Hayes and hopefully get back in the lineup soon.
I think the good news he got from doctors and everything, he's elected not to even get an MRI. They're hoping here in a couple weeks he'll be ready to pitch again, and that was amazing news because with some of the stuff we thought it could be, he would have been missing his college season this year too.
Say he knew it like right away after the pitch out in Colorado and called Harper out of the dugout. He was looking at it on the bus and almost talking like he was ready to go home, and that was his last outing as a Lark.
Lucky enough it's not. That's another great energy guy on the team that helps hold everything together. Loves to wear funny hats with me.
You, Cam, and we lost Luke, but Luke was wearing them a lot. Luke would go sell tickets with the hats on, and always he'd steal your thunder to get all the compliments.
Oh, I know, but it's fun. When I decided that I wouldn't buy, a ton of hats, ordered some on Amazon and got some here in Hayes. And I just left them all in the locker room. There's probably about 6 or 7 just funky hats in there. I can choose what I want to wear, and if I'm not wearing it that day, Luke would be like, "Hey, can I wear this?" Absolutely. I'd have the whole team wearing them if it was up to me.
Team guy. The team player. His team right now is facing a bases-loaded situation with only 1 out. Larks almost had a double play. Jazz Love fumbled their transition. And the tying run at second, go ahead at first. Bottom of the order, Jaron Gorsh. Gorsh 0 for 3 today. He pitched yesterday and is playing center field today. Ball strike here, 0-1. Defense straight up. They got the ground ball from Hendon that he wanted, but didn't get the result he was hoping for.
It's the perfect thing on the mound was a ground ball to shortstop.
And Jazz has had a pretty good year at shortstop this year. He's had a few errors, but that one just didn't go his way, and he looks pretty frustrated out there after that one. Just saw him turn around and let off some steam.
Definitely a little frustrated about it. It just looked like it was kind of on the transfer, taken out of his glove, just fumbled it. Nothing really much to say about it.
This one is cranked to left field. It'll drop. At least 2 will score. Rule goes for it. And the game will be tied as the throw is in for Renzi. But in the meantime, the Outlaws tie it up. 2 RBIs from Gorsh. It is a 6-6 ball game, and they're still 2 in scoring position with only 1 out.
It's another wild thing about baseball. You always seem to get punished in it. There's no breaks in this game. You have an error, they're going to score.
And that's something that's frustrating for Sam Hendon because a couple plays or a couple things go differently. We've had 2 errors this inning, get those outs, and he works a scoreless 8th. Infield in here with the go-ahead run at third base. Top of the order, CJ Townsend at the box. He is 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. working with an 0-1 count here against Sam Hendon. This one above the letters, 1 ball, 1 strike. Larks do have a right-handed pitcher up in the pen. Your guess is as good as mine as who it is.
I don't know. I can't tell. I'll tell you if they come on the mound.
Yeah, I can understand. 1-1 home, swing and a miss, 1-2. But Harper is spending half his time looking at Sam, half his time looking at the bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes here to C.J. Townsend. Larks tied up 6 apiece. Larks have only played 1 extra inning game this year, and it didn't go in our favor. Fly ball to center, should be deep enough to score the run from third. Terosian gets under it. The throw will go to Jazz Love, and scoring the go-ahead run is Marr, and it is a 7-6 ball game. The thing about this is for Sam is 4 runs have scored in this inning on him, but any of them earned?
I don't know how that all would get ruled. You know, you can say for sure that if a couple things goes differently, he's got 0. Got the first guy on, wanted the double play, eventually got it. But that hit there, sack fly, would be just adding to the frustration if you're on the mound for sure.
A look to shake it off. Good thing about the Larks is we got more bats coming up in the bottom half, and they have momentum. They scored 5 in the last inning. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Larks do need a win in this game. They're still 1.5 games back against Liberal. Every time we win, it seems they do the same, and we're just not able to gain any traction. We will have 2 games against them late in July, and that'll be a couple big games.
Come to play those days for sure.
Fans will turn out because it's a old rivalry between 2 former Jayhawk League teams, and it'll be a fun one. Fun couple of days in Hayes. 2-1, Hendon from the stretch. The delivery flown to the left side and past the fan pavilion. Due for the Larks in the bottom of the inning will be Tyler LaRue, Ben Ferenzi, and Jack Terosian. Two home with the runner at third. Twisted the batter up. The appeal down to second base is going to go in favor of the Larks. Hendon strikes out another one. 2 in this inning and 2 on the day. The Larks give up 4 runs, however, off of a couple of errors. They'll trail by 1 as we move to the bottom of the 8th here in Hayes. Bottom of the 8th, Tyler LaRue will get his first at-bat, or second at-bat, excuse me, and ground to the left field, tying run at first base for the Larks, and he will now be joined by his first base coach and teammate Cam Walton late to the coach's box.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about with Tyler. Most power hitters, you probably don't want them up in that situation because of a big fear of a strikeout. But, you know, LaRue has no problem with putting a ground ball through the 6-hole.
He got it, and he gets his first hit of the day. And it's now 4 of 6 against the Outlaws. 0-1 count. LaRue will be running for himself at first base. Ferenzi at the plates. Starting out 0 for 1 since then. Has been aboard 2 times off a single and a walk. He shows bunts, pulls it back in time. The pitch is wild. LaRue rounds second. Will hold up there and be in scoring position. So Larks give up 4 runs at the top after the inning and are ready to get at least one back. They scored 5 in the 7th inning.
Now in this situation, if you want to keep the bunt on, I don't know if we do or not, you definitely want to push it down the third base line, try to draw that third baseman away, and let LaRue take the unoccupied base. But it looks like we went away from the bunt.
No bunt. Pitch misses the zone. 2-1. Right-handed pitcher still up in the bullpen. I just couldn't tell who it was. It looked like Grimsley's delivery, but I would doubt it's him. He pitched yesterday and also hit another pitcher who rakes, just like Caleb Meredith.
Kobe Grimsley can hit for sure. Super athletic dude. Just outside of pitching and everything, especially when we play basketball, anything. That's an athlete for sure. Would doubt he's throwing 2 days in a row though.
3-1 will hit off Ferenzi. Takes it off the hip. Has been hit quite a few times in the past string of games, but will be aboard here. Ben Ferenzi leads the team in hit by pitches, has 10 of those, is responsible for 10 of the 36 hit by pitches this season. It'll bring Chaz Lopez out of the dugout. Christian still on the bump. We'll see if they leave him there. Judging by the music, sounds like he'll be gone, and he will be done here in the 8th inning. Larks have Ferenzi at first, LaRue at second. 2 on, nobody out in the 8th, down by 1. Bottom of the 8th, LaRue at second. Ferenzi at first. First baseman Wilcox in. Marr at third looking to play in. New pitcher in the game, Gale Fields out of St. Mary. Not St. Mary's in New York, St. Mary's, the NIA school. Beautiful bump from Tarosian. He might be able to leg this one out. And he will. Infield bunt, single for Jack Tarosian. Bases are loaded.
The wrong guy caught it.
What?
I said the wrong guy caught it. The second baseman had his foot on the base, but the first baseman caught it, standing a foot away.
I was going to say there was 2 guys in the area. Bad miscommunication, but hey, I'll take it.
That's that bunt to the third base side, drawing that third baseman in. I think the pitcher ended up fielding it, but it's the right idea.
Bases loaded. LaRue at third. At second base is Ferenzi. Tarosian at first. Ferenzi, something in the grass, can score with his speed. At the plate, Hunter Rawson. Rawson been aboard 2 times today and scored once. And he's also the beverage batter, so a lot of pressure on him right now. But still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Fields, a Colorado Springs native, is a righty who pitched in 24 games the past 2 years at St. Mary's. Rawson a little bit early on the swing, pulls it to the Larks bullpen. Whoever was in the bullpen for the Larks is done. Fields 1-2 at St. Mary's this year on the mound for the Outlaws. He's made 10 appearances. Pitched against the Larks on the 4th of July, went 1 2/3, no hits, no runs, or 1 walk. You can see why they want him to pitch again here today in Hayes. Pitch number 2 to Rawson, fouled off 0-2.
We've already got the hits, but hopefully that outcome changes with a few runs here as well.
Rawson, does he always have these batting gloves, or did he get new red ones when he committed to a new school?
I don't know, but I noticed that too earlier. He's wearing red now.
I never noticed that before, but maybe I'm just not looking that close. We will get a balk here, and the Larks will tie it up. Saw yesterday at the MLB ranks, I don't remember who it was, but somebody balked it off. Larks will benefit just the way they did, and Fields upset with the call, but LaRue will score.
However we can get him.
7-7 Larks. Not 7-7 Larks, 7-7 here in the bottom of the 8th, but they're still 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Fields continues to be very upset with the call. I didn't catch anything. I was looking at Ross since they were talking about the gloves, but like you said, we'll take them how we can get them.
To me, I didn't see anything either, but to me, with a right-handed guy, I don't think it's a coming set problem, especially with bases loaded. You see that a lot with guys on first. He would have just had to have twitched or that front leg moved. Probably something really little, because with bases loaded, you know nobody's stealing. There's not a whole lot of worry as the pitcher.
0-2 to Rawson. He will go down on strikes, but we tied it up now the same. Rawson now 1 for 5 today. Tarosian at second. Go ahead run at third, and Ferenzi for Jackson Halter. Halter today been aboard in his past 2 plate appearances after starting out 0 for 2. Rawson the first out of the 8th inning. It'll bring us to the 5th hitter of the 8th. Halter hitting .380 this year with a .458 OBP. He's also slugging .640. Pitch number 1 to him, outside 1-0. Fields this year on the mound, and 13.85 ERA and a whip at 2.31. Struggling a little bit with the numbers. This pitch on the 4th, 6th, and now 9th of July. Infield in, the 1-0 home. Misses the zone, 2 balls, no strikes.
Not a terrible low and away changeup idea there, but as a Lark, I'd like to see him go inside. Let Jackson hit it pretty far. Or just balk again.
No, I'll take either or. 2-0 home is over the plates. Halter sends it to the backstop, 2-1. Tell you what, Larks have been running the bases well, and they forced a balk. How much of that to do with our new first base coach?
You know, I was saying that the bad stuff earlier was on him. Maybe I should give him some credit. He could be over there. The runners during the pitching change both went over to him instead of the third base coach Andy Luton. So maybe he gave him a good idea. Gave LaRue an idea on third to cause a balk.
Cam Walton pitches, coaches first base, creative ideas for home run celebrations, and
he hits every once in a while when we're up by 20. Not much the man can't do.
pop fly goes behind the shortstop Townsend. He chases in the grass and will get it. Halter just missed on that swing and will be outs number 2. 2 away, 2 on, both in scoring position for Garrett Gruhl. Gruhl 2 for 3 today, along with the walk. He scored once and driven in 1. Garrett Gruhl with 8 RBIs this season in just 6 games. Frenzy trying to mess up with Fields at third base. He does it a lot, bounces around on the base pass, trying to get in the pitcher's head. As a pitcher, has that ever gone to you when a guy's bouncing around out there trying to catch your attention?
It doesn't bother me personally as much as I know it does some people. I know I had my pitching coach at Tennessee mentioned this one time, and it was one of the funnier things I've heard. He said when he was running one time, and he had a pitcher just stare him in the eyes. He was trying to bounce or whatever, and that pitcher just looked at him and looked him dead in the eye, and he said, like, I couldn't steal. That just froze me. I've never had a pitcher like be that confident where instead of worrying when I'm bouncing, they're just staring me straight in the eyes. So I started doing that some. I don't know if it's made any effect or not, but I haven't had to worry as much.
Garrett Gruhl gets a hold of this one, but a little early in the swing, lines it down the left field line and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Indy. Not as much bouncing around on that one, but Gruhl's going to have to protect the plates. 2 on, 2 outs, and a tie game in the bottom of the 8th inning here in Hayes. Terosian at second, Ferenzi's at third. A very good hitter at the plate, the JUCO American, awaiting his 1-2 delivery. Above the letters, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pressure's on for both sides here. Fields has given up 20 earned runs this season. The runners won't be accredited to him as he gets a pop up here from Garrett Gruhl. He's waving it out at play, chasing it as Wilcox, but it drops into the Outlaws dugout. That little bit of fence right in front of the dugout stopped everybody. No fence. Might have been able to get to that ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th for Gruhl. Gruhl tonight's cleanup hitter. He's been there a few times. He's getting the start in left field today. He's had a double in the second. Took it to right center field. And then scored the first run of the day for the Larks. Then the Larks went silent for a few and then didn't score again until the 7th, where they picked up 5 runs and took a 6-3 lead. Pitch home from Fields above the letters, 3-2. Now the guy up in the pen for the Larks starting to throw again. Took some time off and is throwing with Coach Harper right next to him.
Definitely will be coming in to close, whoever it is.
Four runs the top half of the inning for the Outlaws offense. Larks respond with 1 here so far. Looking for more. We'll get a payoff pitch to Fields. From Fields to Gruhl when he lines it foul again. He's done that a few times this at bat, just a little bit early on the swing. We'll get another payoff pitch. Larks, all they need is 90 feet of base running from Ferenzi to take the lead.
Regardless of the outcome, this is a great at-bat from Garrett Gruhl in a situation like this.
Same with LaRue, had that bases loaded at bat with 2 outs, worked a 3-2 count, and had a similar bat, fouling off a few pitches. He struck out. Gruhl looked to change things up. Sends this one to left field. Weller runs in from the warning track. He is picked up ahead of steam, and it will drop between Gorsh, Townsend, and Weller. Garrett Gruhl safe at second. Terosian and Ferenzi scored. Is now 9-7 Larks. The Outlaws have had some trouble out in the outfield the past couple of days and have looked kind of shaky, and that one was ugly for them. It dropped between 3 defenders. But Garrett Gruhl will be happy as 2 runs scored, and his team is up 9-7, 3 runs in this inning.
That does go down as a 2 RBI double because nobody touched it. As a pitcher, though, we've talked about pitchers being frustrated a few times tonight. That one's probably the worst one. That one would probably get in my head a little bit even.
He was frustrated after the balk, didn't like the call, and argued it with for a while, and then that happens. Dylan Drowning will look to take advantage of it. Up by 2, he homered in his last at-bats.
You know, and I talked about people always scoring after errors. You know, walks and hit by pitches and balks all work the same. It seems like as soon as those start to happen and compound, the innings just get worse and worse and worse. It never fails.
Fields, the second pitcher of the inning. Christensen started it. It's a few of those runs credit to him, but also some to Fields, who's working with a mound visit with Wrights. Hopefully the Larks are in his head. It's been a long 8th inning between the two teams. 7 runs have scored. The Larks have benefited from a few of those this year. Had that go-ahead run and dodge score because center fielder just couldn't find the ball. And then we get another one here.
Yeah, Leo still likes to joke about that one. That was his RBI triple to start the inning or however it went. But hopefully he's getting more of the same luck in France and has a good week or 2 while he's down there.
Oh yeah, I'm for sure going to be following Leo, playing for his home country in the European Championships out in Belgium right now, but we'll get him back before the NBC. Hopefully the French can do well and he leads the charge. 1-2 count here to Dreiling. Dreiling 1 for 4 today. Started off with 2 strikeouts and a pop-up and then crushed that one to right field in the last inning. 7th hitter of the inning for Hayes. He has a 2-2 count with the runner at second and 2 away. Larks have scored 8 runs over the past 5 outs and would like to bring Garrett Gruhl home for another one. Now whoever was up in the pen is officially done. Harper and Brady Evans walk away from the bullpen. Outside 3-2.
Wouldn't be upset with the same outcome as his last at-bat.
No, I wouldn't be either. I think the Outlaws might not like it, but I'll take it.
You know, early in the game, maybe I'd be a little more sympathetic, but in the bottom of the 8th, I'd rather us be happy than them.
That's facts. Payoff pitch to Dreiling. He lines it to the same spots, but it'll be to Campbell's. It's about 40 feet shorter where his last one landed. Well struck, but right at the right fielder. Larks score 3 here in the 8th inning. This has been Carson Ackerman, and Caleb Meredith will head back to the dugout. But Caleb, thanks for getting on the mic. I'm sure the fans will be dying to hear your golden voice again on the airwaves.
Well, you know, I hope so. And I've enjoyed being on Larks Network, and I'm going to go get my funny hat back on and try to lead us to a win from what I can from the bench.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Caleb. That's Larks fans. That's been Caleb Meredith. We'll see you for the 9th inning. Hayes up by 2. Kobe Grimsley to the mound for the 9th inning. His team up by 2. His first pitch blows past Casey Campbell, who is 1 for 4 today with a single all the way back in the first inning. He scored in the 5th inning after he reached on a Garrett Gruhl error. 0-2 quick. Kobe Grimsley back on the bump. He pitched yesterday. It'll be the second time a Larks pitcher goes back-to-back days, as Chris Echeverria did it all the way back on the 3rd and 4th of June. Hutchison at third base now. No more Hunter Rawson at second as Ferenzi moves from third to second base. Dreiling and Tarosian still out in right and center. I can't tell if that's still Garrett Gruhl out in left field.
Palmer Hutchinson at third base, and Ferenzi moves to second.
I imagine it would be Garrett Gruhl. Still don't see a reason to change anything up there. 0-2 counts. Grimsley's thrown 14 and a third this year, giving up 12 hits, and will strike out his 9th of the season. This one looking. Outlaws down to their final 2 outs, down by 2. They brought Amba Campbell to the plate in the 8th inning, scoring 4 runs, but he is the first out here of the 9th. 1 away, base is empty for the cleanup hitter, Jaron Wilcox. Grimsley's going to have to face the most talented hitters of the Outlaws roster here in the 9th. This one gets sent to right center field. Tarosian makes the catch on the run. Dreiling heads to it, loses his cap and sunglasses in the process, but none the same. Out number 2 comes quickly. 2 up, 2 down. We're 1 out away from the Larks' 6th straight win.
Number 15, James Wright.
This has been one of the better games in Larks' recent memory compared to last night. Last night was a lot of fun, but it didn't have you on the edge of your seat at all. Larks won at 22-0. Grimsley wastes no time, and Wrights can't hang with the heater here. 0-1 will step out of the batter's box and try to shake off Grimsley's timing. Grimsley ready to go quick. 0-1 from the stretch. Sent to left field. Garrett Gruhl moves back. He's at the warning track, and right in front of it makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down for Kobe Grimsley in the 9th inning. Now you see Caleb Meredith, who was on the mic for a lot of the innings, strut out with his victory hat on. Larks win it 9-7 here in Hayes. Kobe Grimsley gets a save.
Kobe Grimsley with a save tonight.
His first of the season. Sam Hendon will get the win. The Larks now 22-6, 15-3 in league play. They're just 1 game back from the BJs. They've won 6 straight, 9 of the last 10, and have won 5 straight league games. Outlaws have now lost 5 of the last 6 league games, or 11-15 on the season, 8-14 in league play. 6th place, 10 games back. Dylan Dreiling leads the charge with a 2-run shot in the 7th inning. Then Grimsley gets a save in the 9th. Gruhl picks up 3 RBIs in the day. Tarosian scores 2, and so does Ben Ferenzi. Larks win at 9-7. Game 2, they've now won the series, but they'll look for the sweep tomorrow against the Outlaws. First pitch at 7 p.m. Larks win at 9-7 here today. We'll see you tomorrow. First pitch at 7. Be at the ballpark, or come on and listen to Larks Network right here on YouTube. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow night looking for the sweep.